Right now, somewhere in the world, someone is opening a chocolate bar. They already ate dinner. They're not starving. They probably don't even need more food. And yet, the moment they see that chocolate, they suddenly want it. A cookie, ice cream, a slice of cake, a sugary drink. Somehow, even when you're completely full, your brain can still whisper, just one more. That's strange, because sugar is everywhere today. It's in desserts, soft drinks, breakfast cereals, bread, sauces, snacks, and thousands of foods we probably never think of as sweet. Yet our desire for sugar can feel surprisingly powerful. So why? Why does something as simple as sugar have such a strong effect on the human brain? Maybe it's because sugar tastes good. Maybe we just enjoy sweetness. Or maybe people simply get used to eating sugary foods. Those explanations sound reasonable. But they don't explain the whole story, because humans didn't evolve in a world filled with chocolate bars and ice cream. For most of human history, sweet food was relatively rare. There were no supermarkets, no candy stores, no vending machines, no refrigerators filled with desserts. So why would evolution give us such a powerful desire for something that was once difficult to find? The answer begins millions of years ago. Before cities, before farming, before civilization, back when finding food wasn't guaranteed. Imagine you're an early human walking through a forest. You've been searching for food for hours. You find some leaves, a few roots, maybe some insects. Then suddenly, you see something different, a tree covered in bright, ripe fruit. You take a bite. It's sweet, and your brain immediately notices. This food is different. It contains easily accessible energy. That sweetness is a signal. And your brain has a very good reason to pay attention. Sugar contains energy. And energy is survival. Your body needs energy to move, to keep your heart beating, to maintain your body temperature, to power your brain, and to survive periods when food is scarce. So when our ancestors found something sweet, their brains had every reason to say, remember this. And that ancient system is still inside us today. The problem is, world changed much faster than our biology did. Our ancestors might have searched for hours to find a small amount of naturally sweet food. Today, you can walk into a store, find hundreds of different sweet foods within seconds. The ancient reward system never disappeared, but the environment around it completely changed, and that creates a strange mismatch. Your brain still reacts to sugar as if it's a valuable discovery, even when sugar is available almost everywhere. But what exactly happens inside your brain when you eat something sweet? The story begins in your mouth. Your tongue detects sweetness through specialized taste receptors. Those receptors send signals to your brain, and your brain quickly recognizes this contains energy. But tasting sweetness is only the beginning. As you eat, your brain's reward system becomes involved. One important chemical in this system is dopamine. Dopamine is often described as the pleasure chemical, but that description is too simple. Dopamine is heavily involved in motivation, learning, and reward prediction. It helps your brain notice things that might be valuable, encourages you to seek them again. So when something sweet tastes good, your brain doesn't simply say, that was delicious. It also starts learning, that was valuable. And that difference is incredibly important because your brain is constantly learning from experience. If a particular food gives you a strong reward, your brain remembers it. The smell, the appearance, the taste, the location, even the packaging. All of these things can eventually become signals that predict the reward. That's why sometimes you can start craving a food before you even taste it. You see a bakery. You smell fresh cookies, you hear a packet opening, and suddenly you want sugar. The craving didn't appear out of nowhere. Your brain learned the connection. But sugar has another interesting effect. When you eat carbohydrates, your body can break them down into glucose. Glucose becomes an important source of energy for your cells, and your brain depends heavily on glucose as a fuel source. So, from an evolutionary perspective, finding a source of easily available energy was extremely valuable. Imagine two foods sitting in front of an ancient human. One is tough, bitter, and difficult to digest. The other is ripe, sweet, and energy-rich. Which one would be more attractive? The sweet food And that preference could have helped our ancestors survive, but there was a catch. Sweet foods were usually limited by nature, fruit was seasonal, honey was difficult to obtain, some plants contained natural sugars, but they weren't available everywhere. So humans evolved in an environment where sweetness was valuable, not unlimited. Then humans discovered something that completely changed the situation: agriculture. We began growing crops, we learned how to process food, we learned how to extract and concentrate certain ingredients. Eventually, humans discovered how to turn sugar from something relatively rare into something that could be produced in enormous quantities. And suddenly, an ancient reward system had a completely different environment. Instead of occasionally finding something sweet,